Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an M12. It's a Tier 7 American SPG, and this one's named Adolf Assassin. And it's a skin made by Jazzy. And I do know that she's on the mend. She's recovering from her tonsillitis. Well, this M12, it's on the Westbourne of Studzianki, and it's under the command of FendaBenda. Battle started. Now it's a 155mm howitzer of French design, and it's mounted on the hull of an M3 that's actually been slightly extended to carry the extra weight. And these Arty were actually made by the Press Steel Car Company. They produced 100 of them, 60 in 1942 I believe, and the other 40 were produced in 1943. And it's got 700 alpha if it can penetrate the targets. Well, he's found the target. It's a Wizzy 131. This is a Tier 8 game. He's Tier 7 Arty. Okay, well, we've got some targets over the far side of the factory, but it's a bit of a red line. If we move, if they move closer to the buildings, we won't be able to hit them. But we're going for that Oni, and whoa, that was a direct hit, and it stunned the Oni next to him as well. They're pulling back a bit. I think they're a bit upset by that. Oh, well, we've platooned with the other Arty in our team, which is an S51. The Soviet Tier 7. We fire another round. Oh, what happened there? It bounced against the hull, and you heard a clang as it hit the hull. We saw some stun, but we didn't see an actual explosion or any damage. So I suspect that the armor just deflected the shell, and all it did was make a noise inside. Okay, going for the Type 59. Rounds out. No, it hit the top of the ridgeline. It's very difficult to hit another tank that's over a ridgeline there. Okay, I don't know if you've seen it before, but there's that huge roaring fire going on to the left. There's something's burning up massively, a forest or whatever. Okay, stew mill, we're loaded, rounds out, and it falls slightly to the right. Again, that's RNG, I'm afraid. There's one thing about this vehicle I should actually mention, is they used to call the M12 the door knocker, and the reason they called it the door knocker was because it was mostly used to knock down bunkers. So if they came across a German concrete emplacement or bunker, they would call up the M12 and blow it to pieces with a direct hit. In fact, there are photographs of an M12 being used in the direct fire mode to literally blow up a bunker. Well, he's fired another round in blind at the position where the M12 was, the Type 59 was last seen, but didn't have much luck there. And I think he's decided to, well, not to tree down, decided to relocate, and is now going to fire at the south, because there is an IKV at the back of the enemy field, and he's holding up our guys. We fire a round in and didn't get anything from that shot. But the IKV's been killed, so it looks like our team is actually moving into enemy territory. Oh, no, there's a medium tank right at the back. It's T-44, Tier 8. Lining up a shot. We're loaded. Okay, work out where he's headed. Right, oh, he stopped just as we fired. It was a good estimation of where he was headed, but he stopped suddenly just as we fired, and that shell again was wasted. There's not much you can do about that. If the enemy decides to change position, it's very difficult to get shots on them. But we can see that those Onis that we were firing at earlier, they're in that position there. We lost sight of them, but pretty sure they are still there because it's a very slow tank. Oh, well, one of them pulled back slightly, but the other one is still there. Okay, we're homing in on that Oni. Mind you, the other one has more hit points. I think that's the one he's going to go for next. Rounds out, it's going to land in front of it. It did. You have to take into account sometimes if they're going to pull back. I think that Oni would have been the better target because he's so low on health. A direct hit would probably have taken him out of the game and removed his gun from the game. The only problem is now he got a chance to fire and he's reloading to fire again. We fire another round in and this time round we do kill him. Now that might have prevented him firing one of those shots. But the other Oni is still there, and the good news is they killed the steering wheel at the north end. Now can we get this Type 59? Changing position actually gives us a better angle on that Type 59. We fire a round in, and this time round we did get a hit. 261, which is a very good hit actually. Okay, we're changing position again. Unfortunately, that EBR Hotchkiss has actually been providing quite a bit of a barrier to our guys moving up the enemy side. And our attack force is now down to just 2 vehicles. Well, FendaBenda fired a round in, and he's changing position again straight away, moving towards the southeast corner, but he's decided to turn around and fire a round at the Oni. Or is he? Oh, he's going to go for the Type 59. Okay, let it dial in. That's it. Rounds out. That looks good. It is 301 hit points. That was an excellent shot. The more health that Type 59 loses, the more likely the projectile is going to be able to come around the side of the hill or over the top and take him out. Okay, he's loaded again, and this time round he's going to go for the tanks that have gone around the corner. There's the Oni, there's the VK. They've both got very low hit points. Oh, it looked like there was a perfect opportunity there for a bombardier. There's the Type 59. He's pulled back and now he's dead. Okay, we're looking for 2 enemy Arties. There's a possibility one of them's in the northeast corner of the map because they haven't found anything in the south. In fact, there's only our T-43 left in the south, and of course that EBR Hotchkiss who's still around. And I think FendaBenda suddenly realised he's moved up a bit too close to that EBR. He's trying to get a shot, but a lot of these buildings are getting in the way. Goes for it. And no, he doesn't get a hit. And we've lost the T-43, which means the EBR will be headed this way. So I think he's moving into an ambush position. Or at least he's moving into cover so he can't be seen by the EBR. But I think that EBR will head this way. The scores are even now. He's waiting for the reload. Here we go. Oh, nicely done. What an ambush. He just drove straight into that one. Beautifully done. And that's the enemy Arty firing in. FendaBenda did get stunned, but oh, that was one hell of a kill. And there's another Arty shot coming in, but failing. Okay, he's gone unsighted, so he can pull away and they'll make his way into enemy territory. The S-51's moved up as well, so that will shorten his shell flight time. And one of the enemy Arty has been spotted. It's the M12, and there's the AMX Cannon d'Assaut, the 105. Dialing in on that, because that's a big threat. And, oh, we got a bit of reticule bloom there. It's right at the edge of his field of fire. Fires around in, and no, we didn't get anything. But the enemy Arty has been killed. The M12 was taken out by the defender. The Cannon d'Assaut was stunned, though. So that may have been our shell that stunned him. And FendaBenda's centered his arc. He's only got 2 shells left. So this shell and 1 more, and that's it. Rounds out. And yes, he did get a hit. but it was only a splash for 169. There's only one enemy left, that cannon, so the defender's after him, and I don't think he's going to last very long with the defender. Although he's got a 105mm gun, I don't think that AMX is going to survive for very long against the 122mm in the Soviet Heavy, and they're going face to face. And yes, the CD8 is bouncing rounds off the defender. We fired a round in anyway to get the kill, and yes, we got the kill. We did stun the defender, but I'm not sure that will count because we did kill the enemy before we stunned the defender. We'll just have to see, did he get it? And oh my god, yes, he actually did get it, but it was a Fadin's medal. He used the last round in his magazine to take out the last enemy, and so yes, he won a Fadin's. It was a second class tanker from the game, and a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 15, but of course that Fadin's medals, they are very rare and very nice to get it with an M12. Win 8 for the game, 2602, which is Unicum standard. So let's have a look at team score. Well, we can see on team score, he didn't get the highest amount of damage. That actually went to the defender. He got 4,979 hit points of damage, picked up a high caliber in the steel wall. The next highest scorer was the Type 59, 3,588 to him. And then the CDA managed 3,117. FendaBenda got 1,676 hit points. Puts him a little way down, but not much. When it came to kills, though, he actually did get the second highest number of kills. The defender got 4, FendaBenda got 3, and then there's a bunch of tanks with 2 kills. And when it came to base XP, the defender got 1678, which I think is definitely an ace tanker. And FendaBenda managed to get 861. Now, did he get fined for that damage to the defender? No, he didn't. Okay, because it was the last shot and because it killed the last enemy, the game ended when that enemy died, and it didn't matter about the splash. So he fired 20 shots, all 20 shots in his magazine. He got 6 direct hits and 1 penetration and 13 splash. Damage of 1,676 hit points, of which 1,485 were at more than 300 meters. He received 1 hit as a result of splash damage from the M12, I think it was, and he damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 3 of them, and did stun assistance of 359 hit points off 10 stuns. On a free-to-play account, he earned 21,014 credits, and after ammunition resupply, he actually made a loss of 1,386 credits. But he did pick up 5 bonds because he got the Fadins, and 861 base XP, and there was no multiplier, so that's all the experience points he took away. But I'm sure he's very happy about getting that Fadin's medal. I know I've got quite a few. In fact, the first Fadins I ever got, I knew that I was on for a Fadins, but the subsequent Fadins, I never actually realised that I was actually on a Fadins because I wasn't focused on how many rounds of ammunition I had left and whether or not I could kill that enemy. I was just so focused on killing the enemy. So very well done to FendaBenda for getting his Fadins. I'm sure he's very happy about it. It is pretty special if you get it in an Arty other than the SU5, which only has 12 shots, and so obviously it's very easy to get the Fadin's medal in the SU5. It's very difficult to get it in any other Arty, and of course FendaBenda did it very nicely indeed, although it's a shot that probably I wouldn't have taken because he was just too close to that defender. If he'd hit the defender and not the CDA, he would have ended up with a massive fine and also pretty much annoyed or pissed off that defender so much that I'm sure he would get blacklisted by him. But as it was, it worked out okay. So if you enjoyed that replay, please like and subscribe, and we have great videos all the time, so do stay tuned to our channel. Thanks for watching.